Dogs are able to sniff COVID. They can smell it on you.
Really?
They can smell if you're infected. Well, I mean, they got to be trained. I apologize to Otis, but they got to be a certain caliber, you know. Maybe Otis can train and get to that level. But apparently, they're as effective as some tests at smelling COVID in people's saliva.
Oh.
So you had a German study, University of Veterinary Medicine, Hanover. It found that dogs are able to distinguish human saliva samples that are infected with the novel coronavirus from those that are not with 94% accuracy if properly trained.
Wow.
For the study, which was published in the BMC Infectious Diseases Journal on July 23rd, researchers trained 8 dogs from Germany's armed forces for just 1 week. Okay, but those, you know, those type of dogs.
Yeah.
Like, they're already tuned up with the sniffing for contraband. Mm-hmm. And so you just give them a new scent and maybe they take a week. The dogs were directed to sniff the saliva of more than 1,000 people, both infected and not infected. The samples were distributed at random. Neither the dogs nor their handlers knew if they were receiving an infected sample. That's a real study, Will.
Wow.
We think that the dogs are able to detect a specific smell of the metabolic changes that occur in those patients. It's incredible. Now, to be clear, the quick version of the tests that are currently out there, swabbed samples from the nose, throat, or saliva are only 93% accurate as it stands right now. The dogs were 94%.
Wow.
Now, if you go to the next stage swab, which is the long one, who goes all the way back down, that gets up to 99%. So that's still better than the dogs. But oftentimes those types of tests aren't feasible. And you can imagine these dogs anywhere those tests aren't available.
Yeah, this is a very cheap solution, very quick as well.
You have these dogs patrolling around, and I mean, they're sticking thermometers on people's heads when they go places. You could have these dogs at airports, and I don't know, it's really interesting. Now, some people, the animal rights type of people, would say, "You got these dogs sticking their nose in the corona saliva? How rude of you!" Those people are going to be out there. Apparently, dogs aren't really that affected by this virus for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Recently, the first animal infection was found. It was a cat, actually. It's not impossible for them to get it, but they just aren't really impacted by it. So you shouldn't be too concerned about that. And there will be more testing. But how cool is that? Superpowers, man. Their sense of smell, get out of town. Me, I wake up in the morning, I'm congested. I can't even smell my coffee sometimes. These dogs, they're smelling metabolic changes?
Ugh.
Love it.
Crazy.